Will Dilg was an avid bass fisherman that fished these very waters behind us on the upper Mississippi River around the early 1900s. Preferably with a fly rod and a popper, he roamed the backwaters of this very area. He was a noted outdoors writer for several publications out of Chicago and the Midwest. He was also a spokesperson or publicist for a liquor company and was out of work during the Prohibition era of 1918 to his death in 1927. He was with a group of people in Chicago that were also avid fishermen, and those people saw the horror of the degradation of this area when they were on their fishing trips due to industrialization and over-harvesting of fish and waterfowl in the early 1900s. And those gentlemen, at the invitation of Will Dilg, met on January 14th of 1922 in the Blackstone Hotel in Chicago. At that meeting, there were several impassioned speeches, including one by Dilg, that went from the concern they had to action, and that action was they began the formation of what became the Izaak Walton League of America. Will spent many years of his last part of his life by going out and being very outspoken about the needs of the upper Mississippi River, and created chapters all over the upper Midwest and actually throughout the nation in 34 states. And this was during the years of 1922, 1923. Will was looking for a big event. That happened early in 1923 when the planned drainage of the Winneshiek Bottoms, an area on the upper Mississippi River, by the organizations of agriculture utilizing the government to drain and dike the wetlands of the upper Mississippi River. This was the big action that Will was looking for. He jumped on board, and in a massive effort over 1 year, the newly formed Izaak Walton League, and with Will Dilg at its head, convinced not only Congress but President Coolidge to enact a bill, the Upper Mississippi River Wildlife and Fish Bill was the name of it, that set aside the refuge that we call the Upper Mississippi Wildlife Refuge now. And that was a very new action, using federal money to set aside land for conservation. This was really the first big task of the Izaak Walton League of America, led by Will Dilg, but he was very confrontational and controversial during this process. And he basically worked to the end of his life to get it done.
We're fortunate that we now have 261 river mile refuge, encompassing about 240,000 acres of wetlands, floodplain forests, and river on the Mississippi River. The refuge extends from the mouth of the Chippewa River and extends all the way down to the Quad Cities, Rock Island, Illinois, which is Pool 14. Within that stretch of river, we are probably the most significant continental flyway in the United States. Critically important for migratory birds, not only waterfowl, but also neotropical migrants that use the floodplain forest to complete their migration, and also critically important for resident wildlife, fur bearers, fish, aquatic mussels, and other inhabitants of the river system. The fact that this refuge is managed for the benefit of the American people is something that the Ikes can be proud of. And certainly we see that in the next generation of conservationists, the kids that we'd like to bring to the river to experience this incredibly important resource. It is going to be our children that are going to benefit from having this very special place on this planet that they can call their own.